There are times when worry feels like a constant companion. No matter how hard we try, it seems impossible to escape the grip of anxiety. Whether it's worrying about the future, our relationships, our work, or just the general uncertainties of life, it can feel like we're stuck in a cycle that we can't break. But why is it so hard to stop worrying? What keeps us trapped in this cycle of fear and doubt? At its core, worry is an emotional response to the unknown. It's a natural instinct meant to keep us alert and prepared for potential danger. In our ancestors' time, worrying about threats like wild animals or extreme weather could be a matter of life or death. In today's world, worry often comes in the form of concerns over things we can't control, like what other people think of us, financial instability, or whether we're making the right choices. Despite how we might try to rationalize it, our brains are hardwired to react to stress with worry, even when the danger is not immediate or life-threatening. One reason why it's so difficult to stop worrying is that our brains are conditioned to focus on potential threats. It's easy to see worry as a problem, but in some ways, it's an evolutionary survival mechanism. Our minds have evolved to detect danger, prepare for it, and keep us safe. This tendency to focus on the negative or the what-ifs of life was essential for survival in the past, but in modern times, this instinct can become excessive and counterproductive. When our minds are constantly scanning for threats, it's hard to relax, and worry becomes a default mode of thinking. Another reason we can't stop worrying is that it provides us with a false sense of control. When we worry about something, our minds convince us that we are doing something proactive, even if we're not taking action in the real world. We believe that by thinking about a problem over and over, we can somehow prevent it from happening or figure out the perfect solution. This constant analysis can give us a feeling of control, but in reality, it often leaves us stuck in a loop without any real answers. It's the illusion of control that keeps us coming back to worry again and again. Worrying also gives us a way to cope with uncertainty. Life is full of unknowns, and for many of us, that uncertainty can feel terrifying. If we worry enough about something, we may feel like we're preparing for the worst, even if the worst hasn't happened yet. In a way, worrying can provide a sense of predictability. But even when we worry, the future remains unpredictable. No amount of worrying can change what will happen tomorrow or next year.
Still, many of us feel compelled to try.
Additionally, unresolved emotions and past experiences can fuel worry. If we've experienced trauma, loss, or disappointment, our minds can hold onto those experiences, causing us to constantly revisit them. We worry about the past, fearing that we might repeat mistakes or face the same pain again. This creates a cycle where we relive old fears and anxieties, further cementing the habit of worrying. Worrying can also become ingrained in our daily routines, especially if it's something we've been doing for years. Over time, we start to see worrying as a normal part of life. It becomes automatic, a reflex that happens without us even thinking about it. When we're used to worrying, we don't always recognize when we're doing it, and it can feel impossible to break the habit.
So, why can't we stop worrying?
It's a combination of biological instincts, a false sense of control, emotional patterns, and deeply ingrained habits. While worry may have served us well in the past, in today's world, it often does more harm than good. The good news is that while we may not be able to completely eliminate worry, we can learn to manage it. The first step is recognizing when we're worrying and acknowledging that it's not helping us. Once we can step back and notice the cycle, we can start to challenge the thoughts that fuel our anxiety. Practicing mindfulness, focusing on the present, and letting go of the need to control everything can help us break free from the grip of worry. With time, we can learn to accept uncertainty and shift our focus toward what we can control: our responses, our thoughts, and our actions. Worry will always be a part of life, but it doesn't have to rule us. By understanding why we worry and taking small steps to reduce its hold, we can create more space for peace and clarity in our lives.